Okay, so I have Phaethon open and I have my reading guide with me. Now, like I said in class, you need to do these as you read. So it says at the top, you can see answer the questions below as you read the story. Please use complete sentences. So you can see that there are lines associated with each question. The first question is pages 60 to 61, lines 1 through 7. The dialogue between the two characters is indicated by quotation marks. However, in this section, the speaker is not always named. So you need to decide who's speaking, the yellow-haired boy, and you can mark YH to represent him, or the one with black hair, and you can mark his words BH. So you're going to write in your text these two to represent who is speaking. So let's use textual clues to locate that information. It says, long ago, when the world was very new, two boys were racing along the edge of a cliff that hung over a deep blue sea. They were the same size. One boy had black hair, the other had yellow hair. The race was very close. Then the yellow-haired one spurted ahead and won the race. The loser was very angry. And so then the first person who talks is the loser. That's what we can infer from the text. It says, you think you're pretty good, he said, but you're not so much. My father is Zeus. So if the yellow-haired boy won, we know that the loser was the black-haired boy. Therefore, the he in this first one is the black-haired boy. And then we can continue to mark the text as follows. The yellow-haired boy says, my father is Apollo, said the yellow-haired boy, whose name was Phaethon. My father is the chief god, king of the mountain, lord of the sky. My father is Lord of the sun. My father is called the Thunderer. When he is angry, the sky grows black and the sun hides. His spear is a lightning bolt, and that's what he kills people with. He hurls it 1,000 miles and never misses. Without my father, there would be no day. It would always be night. Each morning he hitches up his horse and drives the golden chariot of the sun across the sky, and that is daytime. Then he dives into the ocean stream and boards a golden ferry boat and sails back to his eastern palace. That time is called night. So from here, we know that that is Apollo's role, and we also know that people of this time believed that that's how the sun traveled across the sky. That's part of a myth, and that is a natural phenomenon, how the sun travels across the sky. So we can stop marking the text right there with this last line that the black-haired boy says, and it turns out his name is Epaphus. He says, sometimes I visit my father, said Epaphus, the other boy. I sit on Olympus with him, and he teaches me things and gives me presents. Know what he gave me last time? A little thunderbolt, just like his, and he taught me how to throw it. I killed 3 vultures, scared a fishing boat, started a forest fire. Next time I go, I'll throw it at more things. Do you visit your father? Phaethon never had, but he could not bear to tell Epaphus. Certainly, he said, very often. I go to the Eastern Palace and he teaches me things too. So let's pause here because our next question on our reading guide is for page 61, line 9. And that's what I just read to you. So you can see that right here is where the text is marked numbers-wise. So this is line 9. And so the question is, why do you think Phaethon lies about his relationship with his father? So take a moment to decide why Phaethon lies. And again, I'm going to go faster than you probably want me to, but go ahead and pause this video if you need more time. So I think that Phaethon lies about his relationship because the two of them are bragging, they're boasting to one another, and Phaethon's embarrassed or perhaps feeling bad that he hasn't visited his father, and he wants to one-up Epaphus. What kinds of things? Has he taught you to drive the horse of the sun? Oh, yes. So Phaethon has a choice to tell the truth, but he decides to keep lying. Oh, yes. He taught me to handle their reins and how to make them go and how to make them stop. And they're huge horses, tall as this mountain. They breathe fire. I think you're making it all up, said Epaphus. I can tell. I don't even believe there is a sun chariot. There's the sun. Look at it. It's not a chariot. Okay, so your question 3 on your reading guide is, after line 11, what choices does Phaethon have? So after line 11, what choices does he have? What choices do he have? No, it's does. Sorry, that sounded weird. So think about the choices he has to make. I would say he either can choose to lie or to tell the truth. I'm going to turn the page. Okay. Oh, what you see is just one of the wheels, said Phaethon. There's another wheel on the other side. The body of the chariot is slung between them. That's where the driver stands and whips his horses. You cannot see it because your eyes are too small, and the glare is too bright. Well, said Epaphus, maybe it is a chariot, but I still don't believe your father lets you drive it. In fact, I don't believe you've been to the palace of the sun. I doubt that Apollo would know you if he saw you. Maybe he isn't even your father. People like to say they're descended from the gods, of course, but how many of us are there really? I'll prove it to you, cried Phaethon, stamping his foot. Now, Phaethon has a little bit of a temper. I think he's forgetting himself here. He's forgetting that he's never actually met the sun god and that he's actually lying to his friend. I'll go to the palace of the sun right now and hold my father to his promise. I'll show you. What promise? He said I was getting to be so good a charioteer that next time he would let me drive the sun chariot alone, all by myself, from dawn to night, right across the sky. And this time is next time. Proof. Words are cheap, said Epaphus. How will I know it's you driving the sun? I won't be able to see you from down here. You'll know me, said Phaethon. When I pass the village, I will come down close and drive in circles around your roof. You'll see me all right. Farewell. Are you starting now? Now, at once. Just watch the sky tomorrow, son of Zeus. And he went off. He was so stung by the words of his friend and the boasting and lying he had been forced to do that he traveled night and day, not stopping for food or rest, guiding himself by the morning star and the evening star, heading always east. Nor did he know the way, for indeed he had never once seen his father Apollo. He knew him only through his mother's stories, but he did know that the palace must lie in the east, because that is where he saw the sun start each morning. He walked on until finally he lost his way completely, and, weakened by hunger and exhaustion, fell swooning in a great meadow by the edge of a wood. I'm going to pause here, so go ahead and keep reading. Actually, excuse me, go to your reading guide and look at question 4. It says, page 62, after line 19, what do you think is the biggest consequence of any of the choices you stated for question 3? So let's look at line 19. Okay, so Phaethon's saying back here at line 19 that when he passes the village, he'll come down close and drive in circles around Epaphus's roof. So think right then about if the sun were being pulled in a chariot around the roof of this other boy's house, what do you think would be the biggest consequence? And then write it in your question 4 area on your reading guide.